Life Audio.
Today on Talk About That, John goes snake hunting and tells us why he doesn't like scary movies. Meanwhile, I visit Stephen King's house in Maine and share the story of the man who quit drumming for the Beatles to go back to driving a forklift. Plus a conversation about the anxiety built into modern life and the challenges this generation faces that we never had to deal with. Today's episode is not sponsored by internet cookies. We just want to be accepted.
Jonnie, it's another week. Nearing the end of summer. It's Talk About That. You think it's the end of summer yet? Like when people start saying fall is here, but it's still 95 degrees outside.
Well, I don't know if it is where everybody's
everywhere.
listening.
I checked.
Oh, you?
Everywhere.
It's pretty crisp in the New England area, probably.
We had a little crispness for a few weeks here.
They got the leafers that come up there. You know what they call them, the leafers?
That seems like a derogatory.
It does. It is. No, they love it because it brings, commerce to their wonderful areas. Because they come up there looking at because the fall colors up there are supposed to be the best. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Andrew's been up there
for
Maine.
New England in the fall? Oh,
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We visit when I was out on tour with Nate last January. We did a run, and the last of the weekend was Bangor, Maine. And that's where Stephen King's house was. I don't think he still lives there, but they've kept it as he had it, and it's as spooky and weird as you would imagine from the front. It's very haunted looking, and he has a gate with spiders in the railings and stuff. It's very.
Do you think he's just trying to stay on brand, or do you think he's really that weird? I mean, or after a while, is there even a difference?
Right. That's the whole thing. What's the old quote? And I'm not trying to steal your thunder, but there's an old quote "We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful about what we pretend to be."
Come on, guys.
If you're going to be the weirdo that writes horror books, then after a while you're like, oh yeah, I guess I am a frightening person. I don't know. I don't know Stephen King personally. If you're listening,
yeah,
I enjoy a lot of your work, and I liked being scared. Do you like being scared as a kid?
No.
You didn't like it?
No, I don't do.
I know it's almost to me, it's like a roller coaster ride. I know that I'm safe. So some people are like, why would you do that to yourself? But those same people will go on a ride at the park. So I think it's the same thing. To people like us, it's the same thing. You don't see it as the same thing, but I'm saying I see it as the same thing. I'm safe in this movie theater with my wife, and we're watching this thing that's going to have jump scares in it. Right. But I know that I'm still safe. But I got that little rush of whoa, that was...
I like how you said people like us, because people like you, what I think of as crazy people.
Crazy people.
Right. No, I think what you have to realize is I'm not safe in my own mind. Right. As it is. So adding more in there, it's about the mind, not the location. I'm aware that what's happening on the screen can't actually hurt me.
Right.
I'm not an idiot. I can't control my mind then from bringing it back up in my dreams or whatever. That night.
Oh, no, I dream about it. Whenever we used to see something like a movie would have some scene with spiders or bugs in it. My wife would be like, oh boy, here we go. Because I famously have night terrors. I don't have them as much anymore. But I talk about it in the show that I like one a month. One a month is a good pop quiz to see what kind of person you are.
Laura says we had been on our honeymoon and just got home. I thought it was our first night in the apartment.
Yeah. And
at 4 a.m. or something, I'm sitting up in the bed, leaning over onto the floor. Mm-hmm. She was like, what are you doing? I was like, snakes, got to get rid of all the snakes. And she was like, what have I done?
But wait a minute. Were you, she probably was like, who have I married? What were you going to do? It's interesting that you weren't scared. You were just like, got to get in here and grab these snakes and throw them out. What were you doing?
Probably trying to save her from the snakes.
Stinking St. Patrick over here.
I do.
You were on a crusade.
The loyalist in me wants to protect everybody. I will run into danger in my dreams even if I think you're in danger.
Right.
But if in real danger, no.
What if you're a snake, though? Feels like that you've committed an atrocity.
Laura has managed to get onto some sort of, we don't know how, but she's on some sort of Facebook group with people finding snakes in their house and stuff all across the country. Oh,
the algorithm found her. She watched a couple of snake videos, and now every snake video comes to her.
Well, it's a group of people.
I heard rumbling in the thing, and we cut a hole in the drywall, and there was boa constrictors living in the... Yeah.
And it's which snakes are proliferating right now in which areas of the country and all those things.
Yeah.
And so I'll look over all the time, and she's got some snake pulled up.
Oh, boy.
I'm like, why are you doing that? She's like, I don't know, it's kind of cool, to see. But then she's terrified because we have pine straw in the front of our house. And apparently copperheads love to be in pine straw.
They live in the pine straw.
And she's like, John, before you go out there, because I had to redo all the stuff this weekend. She's like, before you go out there, promise me you'll take, some sort of stick or pole or something and just root around in all of it to make sure it's just probably full of snakes, And I've done it.
A stick or a pole.
I did. I went through and kind of like, hey, made a bunch of, hey, snakes.
Hey, snaky. And then you say a prayer, you throw your pole down, it becomes another snake, fights that snake.
I couldn't believe
it's a Moses moment.
I led the children of Israel out of Egypt. It was awesome.
I can't believe it. Right through the pine straw. It parted.
It parted right there.
That was wonderful. Well, I don't know. Yeah, so I just did this run with Nate and Julian McCullough, who is the host of the tour. He's one of Nate's oldest friends from when Nate started comedy. So now when Nate became this big deal, he takes Julian out with him, which is so cool. And Julian is a killer comedian. He's a great host. He really reads the room well and stuff. But he has this bit that he does, usually between comics. He'll come up and kind of like, kind of clear the palate and just still do some more banter with the crowd. And he has this bit about how his daughter is 5 and she's afraid of spiders. There's a spider in her room and she comes in, Dad, there's a spider in my room and I can't sleep. And I was like, because I didn't know what to do. I was a parent, like, it's a big moment. I go, look, hey, sweetie, that's great news. This spider eats the bugs that you're scared of. It's like having your own personal bodyguard. And he goes, and she technically is a woman, so she had a follow-up question. She goes, well, who's going to eat the spider? And he goes, I didn't know what to tell her. I said, you will. Later in your sleep, we eat like 10 spiders a year. So get in there, take care of that spider. And now she sleeps in our room, and I'm not allowed to help anymore. So, yeah, it's a great bit. But anyway, I was terrified of spiders growing up, and I think sometimes I would watch movies about spiders killing people. And I don't know, maybe it's like demystifying it for me. I don't know if it would, maybe did it make it worse? I don't know.
Exposure therapy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I could see it. I go, well, it's not going to get that bad.
It's not going to be like arachnid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There was arachnophobia. Yeah, that was the big one. When I was like a teenager, that one came out.
Ooh.
That was those things were everywhere.
Yeah. I have an arachnophobia moment that just came back to me. I remember we were in an old house like when I was really little. And my sister was laying on the bed. I think we all shared a room. It was a real small house. And there was a spider coming near her hair.
Yeah.
And like my brother or my dad or something went to smash it. And then all these baby spiders just started covering the bed like a movie.
Yeah.
We're like, I remember just screaming, running. And I was probably 4 when this happened, 4 or 5. And I had this this just brought back a memory.
Yeah.
That exposure therapy did not work.
It did not help.
Like I'm to this day remembering that, and it's not good. I'm not like, you know what? Bring on the army of spiders. Not me. I would prefer...
The one that I remember is I was driving... Curry had this little Saturn coupe. Remember the Saturn cars? They're basically plastic.
Yeah.
And so we had this. It was a little beater car that we were driving around when we first moved here. And I'm driving it one day, and I see out of the corner of my eye, behind me over to the right, a black widow is in the car with me. And I knew it was black widow. It had the little, red violin or hourglass little thing, it had the little deal. And I go, whoa, this is a black widow. And I go, what are we going to do? And so I tried to I was trying to still drive. I should have just pulled over. Right. You can take a tactical move. But I was like, I can just kill this poisonous spider while I go 80 miles an hour. I reach over, I miss, and it goes behind the housing of the door. It's in the guts of the car now. And I think to myself, I have to sell this car. There's and we didn't, but I just was like, I hope it's hot in there, and maybe I don't know, or she.
Spiders love the heat, man.
I guess it would have been a she, because black widow, like the males in the species, they look totally different. They're like the spiders that the black widows mate with are totally different looking.
I wonder if they're like, did you have to name us Black Widow?
It's like widower. I'm a widower.
Exactly.
He's upset.
Hey, there's something there. You could do something.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I don't know. Anyway, now we terrified our entire audience. Sorry for all the weird spider stories. Yeah. Bring the kids back in.
It's fine. Spiders are fine.
Spiders can't hurt you.
No.
There are certain ones that...
Right. But you don't need to worry about it.
Like a brown recluse. Be careful and check here. But take a pole. I don't know. Take a pole with you. I took a poll out there. The snakes say that they don't like us either. That's what you should have said when you came back in.
Well, what's crazy is I think, I don't have to do that. I've done this pine straw like dozens of times and never seen anything. But then I think this will be the one time. And God sent me a warning through my most important person, and I refused to listen. So
but I think you're more afraid of her being like, "I told you," than being bit by the snake.
No,
because if you come in and you're bit by a copperhead, you can't even tell her. You can't be like, she'd be like, "Why are you holding your arm?" You're like, "No reason."
Call 911. Why? I don't know. Just in case. What's funny is we pulled up and she was telling me that, and I said, "So if I do get bit, I need to like grab the snake, right, and hold on to it, so they can identify it." And she was like, "No, actually, pretty much all the anti-venom now covers all of it."
Oh, that's nice.
I was like, "That's good," because I would probably get bit many more times trying that. She was like, "Yeah, don't do that." Yeah. So, anyway, kids, if you get bit by a snake, don't grab the snake.
You know what we are going to grab in a minute, though, John?
What's that?
A few words from our fine sponsors. Hopefully there's not like an anti-venom commercial in here, but we'll see. Let's listen.
And we're back. I think that's the longest we've done on one topic.
Yeah, we usually jump all around.
Yeah.
I just think I'm fascinated with bugs in general. Entomology,
Like
which is the study of language.
That's etymology.
Study of bugs and their languages and colloquialisms.
Into etymology is the history of... Anyway, John, I think it's about that time.
Oh, okay.
Let's go into my segment. It's the quote of the week we call They Talked About That. Jonnie, William Lyon with a Y. William Lyon Phelps.
Yeah.
Born 1865, died 1943. He was an American educator, literary critic, and author who served as the Lamson Professor of English Literature at Yale for 41 years. So, yeah, he spoke English pretty well. Anyway, I thought this was interesting. He said, "The fear of life is the favorite disease of the 20th century." The fear of life. And for me, it was like, I do wonder how past generations, the things that we, I think, focus on or hyperfixate on are so much like not usually real problems in terms of life or death. You know, you and I were at lunch talking about that. You were like, when we're talking about retirement accounts or we're talking about other things, like we're all doing something that probably our ancestors would be like, "Dude, you've made it.
Yeah,
like you
did it.
It's going.
Why are you worried?" Yeah,
you didn't die of typhoid or cholera, or And I think that it's interesting. The more that we have this, and I'm so glad that there's a longevity is increasing and all those things. Although I heard that it did come down for the first time.
Okay,
yeah, a little bit.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that.
Just bringing that out for you guys. But like this idea of all the things, and I think fear is a strong word because as an Enneagram 6, like anxiety is kind of the deadly sin a little bit. And I can find a way to worry even about good things. I can find the thing in there that could go wrong, or that maybe I won't maximize the good thing. Yeah. And so like this idea of I'm just kind of afraid of life in some ways. Like we're, and I'm counterphobic, so I go and dive into life and try to go do things, but fear doesn't mean you're not doing it. It just means you're thinking about something different.
Right. It becomes compulsive, it becomes like controlling in some ways. Even if it makes you extra counterphobic so that you start taking risks because you think this is the solution, that can be bad too. Yeah. Yeah, you could be impulsive. Yeah. We're like, I'm so afraid of life. I'm getting a motorcycle. Well, hold on. Yeah. Let's ease up. Yeah, there's a line between preparation and wisdom and then, recklessness, I think. Yeah. But to say it's a favorite disease is almost like and I think if you get on Instagram or you get on TikTok or anything, I'm shocked by how the algorithm for me has brought so many therapy-driven people. I don't know if they're all therapists. Some are great, some are not so much. But it is most of it is just about how to live a normal day. It's not talking about a crisis per se. And I'm not poo-pooing the idea that
what I deal with in my mind is minor. Like,
yeah,
I
there's
think,
extra. Yeah, and modern life has extra challenges that other generations would not have been prepared for. There's no way to prepare your mind. I mean, we talk about that where like you're on this rung on the ladder that we think is like, I'm on the ladder. And then the minute you grab that rung, 20,000 other rungs appear above you and let you know exactly where you think you stand as far as like, that's what social media did to us. It exposed those hidden rungs that we go, oh, and here I thought I was special.
Right.
Turns out I'm just this what, and you go, yeah, but nobody would, the other generations would have had to have that thought. They wouldn't have, there were people who were esteemed in culture, but a seventh grader would not have woken up and thought,
why do I not have a platform?
Right.
Right.
They wouldn't have even had the,
right.
you know, how do I get famous? Like the idea, the obsession with how do I get famous? Because if I can get famous, my problems will be fixed or whatever that thing is. Like they wouldn't have had to deal with that in their mind. So I give a little bit of credit to this generation for the way that they are managing day to day because it is a lot.
It is a lot. I've done some weddings where there were so many cameras and social media experience people hired to capture the moments. And I don't, again, I think it's amazing and they get great videos. Our wedding video is awful in terms of the quality and all those things.
Yeah.
But I think I was most excited that I got to marry the girl of my dreams. And I think that there's that sense of this generation has that added anxiousness of also, I don't just get to be excited today about marrying the guy or girl of my dreams. I have to also make sure we capture this appropriately in a way the world will accept it, or else I'm adding embarrassment to the person I love or to this and that. And you're like,
and sometimes it's for people like Dave Ramsey has that whole thing about like, don't buy things with money you don't have to impress people you don't even like. I think sometimes social media videos like that are aimed at people that we don't even like. But we're trying to almost like impress them with like, see how I'd made good on this moment. And you're like, man, I don't know. To me, when I do social media now, I am trying to share a piece of myself with people who care about me and are interested in what I'm doing. Because there was a time I even held that back. When I toured with Tim Hawkins for 7 years, I very rarely shared anything because I was almost like trying to keep my head down. I felt like I didn't belong. Yeah. So I wouldn't even like, hey, we're here tonight in the blah, blah, blah. And after about 5 years of that, like people were being like, you were there? Why didn't you? And I was like, oh, this is like a form of pride. I think I'm doing them a favor by like keeping my head down, but they want to know. Yeah. But I think that's different than being like, I'm going to show my hometown that I'm not their, somebody to kick around anymore. Right. It's like I'm out for revenge or whatever. Yeah. And so I just think there's a difference. But yeah, the idea of being afraid of life, I do think that there is some of that of like, there's an anxiety that comes from we've shared the quote before that, and one of my favorites is, anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. We have more choices than anybody before us, and those choices bring about an anxiousness about, are we taking advantage of every moment the way we could? Are we squeezing as much out of it? Now, some people have less choices than others. I'm not trying to say that's a very privileged thing to say maybe to some people, but even the lowest person on the totem pole in America possibly, I would say, has more choices than their ancestors did. So it's like there is a choice. There is a little bit of a freedom and autonomy that can be crippling if you let it take over your mind. You have to kind of manage it. I do think that, and I think that's where discipline or even constricting circumstances in life, as you know, my daughter wrecked a car and by God's grace walked away, marginally, she has whiplash. But we're down a car. We traded in one of, my wife's Jeep and to get her this other one. So we're scrambling a little bit, and we've had to tighten some budgetary things. This wasn't in the plan. I had to buy John's lunch today. You did not. You tried, but I offered. He just couldn't get the little screen to work. I couldn't. And I offered, but they'd already separated it, and I was like, well, this is the whole thing. Who's got time? Just, why don't you buy mine? Yeah. But lately, as much as like I don't want to go in, by the way, I have a spectacular spreadsheet that I've made. Have you? Spectacular. I mean, like the formulas. Can you please never show that to me? That goes, it's such a mid-40s thing. Spreadsheets make my head hurt. I don't know how you like them. I think that really is one of the big differences. We see the world very similarly, but you love Excel, and I have no interest in it. That's crazy. Like, my wife is more attracted to me when I can make a good spreadsheet. Really? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, I don't want you to say anything else about what I just said, because I can see Johnny's brain working over there. I'm about to be the big punchline of something. It's fine. But
in the moment here, you'll notice, like, again, I'm ordering the kids' meal,
Yeah.
right? I'm trying to keep things under $10. I'm trying to eat out that much. I'm trying to
Right.
just pay more attention to those things. As much as I didn't want to make the spreadsheet, as much as I didn't want to do all those things, I feel better in a way. I get it. I'm not getting everything, right?
Okay,
But,
I do relate to that.
yeah, there's like same thing if I'm controlling what I'm eating, I don't like it while I'm doing it.
Right.
But I like having had done it.
Yeah.
Right. I don't like going out for the run all the time, but I like having had run. And then I come home and I'm like, okay.
Having had run.
I like using past, present, perfect tenses when I use a lot of different words. But anyway, it's just, I think when you restrict your choices, right? When you intentionally.
It's like you feel like the information lets you have some sense of control in a chaotic situation. So, like, for instance, for me, my job is very abstract because it's jokes, and it feels almost like they're never done. You know,
yeah.
All right, well, I'm still working on my show all the time.
And Johnny, in some ways,
it needs to keep. I need to keep working because it's still real bad. But no, when I'm there doing that in my everyday life, my job is very abstract. So I've booked my own travel for my whole career, and I've had different agencies that I've been with. They go, we know we have people that can do this. And I go, it would drive me crazy if I could not at least do this. And finally I had one agent, and he told me, he goes, you don't want to do it? You don't want us to do it? And I go, no. He goes, well, it probably calms you. I go, yeah. I go, because when I finish bookings things,
You've got your head wrapped around it.
I go, now I know I'm going to Tulsa. And this is the thing, and it's done. Yeah. Whereas my bit about cotton balls is not done, and I'm frustrated with it, and it's very abstract, and I can't quite put my mind around it. Mm-hmm. But I can put my mind around, like, I have a hotel in Tulsa now.
Oh, yeah.
And it feels like I've checked something off.
That's how I feel about mowing the grass and stuff, yeah. Like, the mindless, the things I don't have to think about, but they're just good, hard work. Like, I installed a ceiling fan yesterday. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It didn't, like I said, I'm also writing a book proposal. Right. And another book.
So you were using the ceiling fan to avoid the work of the book proposal, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's but it's actually good. Like, I need to work
you needed both.
I need to work with my hands and be on a ladder and wire things.
Sometimes you write a book proposal. Sometimes you go out there and poke a snake with a pole. And you go, get out of here.
Which, by the way, guys, I don't know why we've never told this story.
What's that?
Andrew, who's one of our best friends, which did a road trip, he reminded us that Johnny has night terrors.
Right.
I sometimes have night terrors.
And sometimes I can trigger you.
In the old days, we might have dueling night terrors, or one where we basically enter it together.
Yeah, we're on a missions trip, or we're in a hotel room together at some event or something, and we're sharing a room.
And he'll start screaming, then I'll start screaming because we're both in some other dream or whatever. And I guess there was one time Andrew remembers, because we were all sharing a room with some missions trip, and we start screaming, and Johnny started saying,
I said, well, first of all, I can't remember which one it was, but I think I said, poke him.
He said, poke him. Poke him, John, poke him.
And I don't know what. Somebody was in the room. I thought you had a poking implement.
But in what scenario would it not be like, hit him, shoot him, stab him? No.
Just go over there and poke him.
Yeah. It gets me. I swear, I cried on that trip on the road, because when I start thinking about it, just the word choice.
Yeah.
In your mind, what did I have? Anyway.
Well, I'm just not a violent guy, I'm just like, hey, get out of here.
I just want him a little bit.
I just want him to, hey, and you know what? I think most burglars would be like, it would be so confusing. They'd be like, this is the wrong house.
In my mind, I had one of those sticks with the nail in the end that they pick up trash with,
Oh,
whatever.
Sure. Or like a skewer, like for the fireplace. What's that called?
A poker.
Okay. One of those. A poker.
A fire poker, yeah, that's great.
A fire poker. See, that's what I'm saying. The person
poke him.
Yeah. Anyway, hey, don't break into my house.
Hey, listen, when that devil comes after you guys out there, I just want you to poke.
I just want you to poke him. Can everybody say that with me? Repeat after me. Oh, boy, John, let's do my segments. Let's start with Johnny's old jokes. We call it Joke About That. I want to celebrate the career, John, of one of my favorites, probably a Mount Rushmore comic for a lot of comics. He's an absurdist, Stephen Wright. What do you know about Stephen Wright, by the way? Because you're a little younger than me.
Have you done Stephen Wright before?
I've done a couple of his jokes before. Okay. I wanted to kind of do more of it. And I'm going to make sure I chose ones that we have never done before.
Okay.
But do you know anything about him?
I think just what you told me last time.
But do you remember any? Have you ever seen clips of him? Do you know any? Could you picture him in your head?
I've read a lot of Stephen Wright shows.
Okay, yeah. Well,
because they do well on paper.
That's what's great about him.
Yeah,
and we've kind of mentioned that about Mitch Hedberg too. Is like you can read Mitch Hedberg's jokes and still laugh. But his personality, he really did throw a little bit more of his personality into it. In that he has no personality on stage. Stephen Wright was kind of a deadpan, monotone. He's known for his distinctive lethargic voice and slow deadpan delivery, ironic, philosophical, and sometimes nonsensical jokes, non sequiturs, anti-humor, and one-liners with contrived situations. Born 1955, and I was reading about him because he was in a great Boston comedy scene that produced so many great comics in the early 80s. But I did not know that when he got the Tonight Show for the first time, I've heard the lore of this whole story because I was such a comedy nerd and I knew this, that he got the Tonight Show in 82. But he only started comedy in 79. Can you imagine?
Wow.
He was a 3-year comic.
It was already in the Tonight Show.
He was doing a show in Boston at this place called the Ding Ho, which was a Chinese restaurant comedy club.
Wow.
So it was a weird venue.
Yeah.
And that's where he was kind of working out. And somebody that was a booker for Tonight Show saw him in there and said, "You're ready." And he went on. And he didn't just do well. He did so well, they invited him back the next week.
Wow.
They go, "Hey, do you have more for us next week?" And he was like, "I think so." And they were like, "We're going to put you." They invited him back the next Friday or something.
Is this Carson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Johnny Carson.
Wow.
So it's like life-changing moment.
That'll do it.
And he was as big as the moment. So like that just gives you an idea of like what a killer this guy was, that he was 3 years in and already had a refined voice, was killing enough that Carson was like, "I've never done this. Come back next week." So here's a few Stephen Wright one-liners. I won't do the voice. Whenever I think of the past, it brings back so many memories. John, there's a fine line between fishing and just standing on the shore like an idiot. If at first you don't succeed, then skydiving definitely isn't for you. I intend to live forever. So far, so good. You know who used to quote that to me was Joel, our friend Joel Zimmerly. He used to say that.
Oh, yeah.
And he loved Stephen Wright. I intend to live forever. So far, so good. I have the world's largest collection of seashells. I keep it on all the beaches of the world. Perhaps you've seen it. I went down the street to the 24-hour grocery. When I got there, the guy was locking the front door. I said, "Hey, the sign says you're open 24 hours. He said, "Yeah, but not in a row." I'm writing a book. I've got the page numbers done. I thought you'd like that one.
That's good. I know that feeling.
That was you putting the ceiling fan in.
Yeah.
I got the page numbers done. I was walking down the street wearing glasses when the prescription ran out. Anyway, I love silly, absurd jokes. I don't know what it is about a silly, like, you go, "Why didn't I think of that?"
Yeah.
The prescription,
it does. You think it's
the
so
prescription
simple.
on your glasses running out.
I feel
it's
like
something that we all should have
that.
thought of that. Yeah. It's like somebody that sees the world in a different way than you. Okay, and finally, I used to work in a fire hydrant factory. You couldn't park anywhere near the place.
That's great.
Our hats off to Stephen Wright, who's still around and still performing, I believe. Much older, but a genius, a true genius. Thank you, Stephen. Let's do This Week in History. We call it Talk About Then. John, this week in TV history, 1977, the Fonz jumped a shark.
Oh, my gosh.
In the episode of Happy Days. The famous episode of Happy Days where the phrase "jumping the shark" has become a metaphor for when something has passed its peak and is desperately trying to hang on. Happy Days had been on a while, very popular show, and so they had to start. There was a thing called Sweeps Week that would happen a lot in the 80s, where it's like, it's in May usually, and it's like, we got to pull out all the stops. And that's when
because you want to get the show renewed.
Yeah, and you would have the crazy special guests. You would have the crazy plot lines. The whole gang would go to Europe or something would happen. And in this episode, Fonzie was skiing in the ocean.
With his jacket on.
With the leather jacket on, because you can't take the jacket off. That was the
He
coolness.
wouldn't be the Fonz.
He wouldn't be the Fonz. And he jumped a shark. And that somehow became synonymous with this thing. And it happens on, there's still shows that it happens on, you go, oh boy, that, you know. And I think in culture, I hear it in popular culture too, is like that's when that guy's career jumped the shark. Or when somebody takes a wild move to reinvent themselves in some way, you go, okay, this guy's jumped the shark. We use it everywhere now.
But how much influence does Happy Days have?
Yeah.
To put something in the vernacular like that we all know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know actually if the Gen Zers know what it is.
No, that's
but
why.
Like
it's one of the reasons it made the list. I mean, I think people maybe have heard the term "jump the shark."
But they don't know what it
They don't know
originated,
where it came from. So I thought I'd listen. We inform and we delight our audience.
Educational podcast.
John, how would you find out more about the show?
You go to talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
Become a patron. We love our patrons, and you can get ad-free content that way, and we enjoy that. Send us a note, hello@talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
And if you haven't subscribed yet,
subscribe.
Go to our new website and give us your email address so we can send you our newsletter.
Automatic downloads and all that stuff. Oh, the newsletter, yeah. John, one of the Beatles, well, almost. That's what this little footnote is. Did you know the story of Thomas Henry Tommy Moore? Tommy Moore was born this week in 1931, died in 1981. He was an English drummer, was a member of the Silver Beatles, Beetles, in 1960, which later became the Beatles. He quit because he, quote, had enough of Lennon.
Wow.
And because their bookings interfered with his job as a forklift driver. See, I've heard the Pete Best thing where they basically kind of thought Pete Best was an average drummer.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, these mixes aren't coming out great.
Pete Best, but he ain't the best.
And they let Pete go, and then they bring in Ringo, and kind of it was a better fit. But I have never heard the story of Tommy Moore. Moore quit after they returned from a tour where Moore lost his front teeth when the group's van was involved in a minor accident. When the other members tried to talk him into staying in the band, his wife was not having it and cursed at them.
Wow.
She was like, he's like, guys, I would stay. I would love to stay. My wife is really upset. I'm driving this forklift. It's way less dangerous.
Forklift.
So his wife curses at them. Drums were taken over by Pete Best, who was later replaced by Ringo Starr.
Wow. And that, my friends,
is the rest of the story. It's one of those stories like the sliding doors of like history of like what would the Beatles have been with Tommy Moore if he had not gone back to forklift driving? Like, we don't know. Would they have still, because of the power of McCartney and Lennon?
Well,
that
we
was
need
the
another
real
story. Like, and then that man reinvented forklift driving.
Wouldn't that be something?
Right,
and then he got a patent on a forklift
Turns out
thing.
he just lived 50 years and died.
He invented a retainer that replaced the two front teeth.
Hey,
I don't know.
Maybe he was just a good dad and husband.
That could have been it. Maybe it's just not for him.
Why is that not enough for you?
You know what? That's
and
what
I can't.
You're right. I want to be careful here because sometimes people are like, well, he could have been famous. Well, maybe it would have ruined his life.
Yeah.
You know, maybe he would have hated it.
I mean, Lennon did get assassinated.
Yeah, and the Beatles got into some stuff, and it's a lot.
Like,
I mean, they are.
We act like fame and fortune.
Right. You're right.
Makes a life.
You're right.
This is why
there's honor in forklift driving, and I do not mean to besmirch the memory of one Tommy Moore.
Did you drive a forklift at?
I got trained. I never was let.
They never let you drive the forklift at Home Depot?
I was a cashier for most of mine.
Oh my gosh!
But then for like a couple of years, I was in inside garden department, meaning I sold lawnmowers and pesticides and stuff.
Yeah.
And I wasn't good at it.
I remember those days. You would talk to me a lot about plants.
I knew a lot about plants by the end of those days, yeah. Because then I worked in the nursery outside, and I knew a lot.
Yeah.
And I forgot most of it. But
yeah.
Anyway, hats off to Tommy Moore. And you know, look, we're not saying you did the wrong thing. I'm sorry if we ever were painting it that way.
I was just giving you a hard time.
It is an interesting thing, though, to think like the Beatles could have been this, and then they became this.
I mean, he was a drummer, so it's not like he was like some rando guy. He wanted to play music, and then he missed playing for the most popular band of all time. So there is a story there.
Maybe the teeth thing was like the straw. It was like, you know what, I can't.
Well, when you get your teeth knocked out, metaphorically and literally, I don't, kind of.
Everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the face.
You can't whistle
Mike
anymore.
Mike Tyson said that. Yeah, or you whistle when you don't want to.
Yeah.
John, the world's largest scramble for free land happened this week in 1893. Do you know about this? Of course you do. You've seen Far and Away. More than 100,000 homesteaders descended on the 6 million acre Cherokee Strip to stake their claim on 40,000 homesteads. This territory would become part of Oklahoma in 1907. The land had already been set aside for the Cherokee Indians. However, here we go. U.S. President Benjamin Harrison forbade grazing leases on the Cherokee Outlet after October 2nd of 1890, thus eliminating tribal profits from cattle leases, and the Cherokee agreed to sell these lands to the government. So the settlers were known as, quote, boomers, which is where you get the whole boomer sooner, and weren't supposed to enter the territory until noon, September 16th, for the big land race and stake your claim on how many whatever acres. But many snuck in early, becoming known as Sooners. So this is a wild state motto and a state slogan, a state mascot, because you're literally bragging about the fact that you cheated
to go take someone else's land that we already were taking away.
Yeah. What a wild.
It is. Although I'll tell you, man, it is crazy. If you haven't seen Far and Away, I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan.
Really?
I'm not. But Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, and Far Away, is a really great period piece because it's the potato famine in Ireland. It shows the differences between the classes in Ireland, right? Then it shows immigration in New York, and then the Italian, Irish racism between the two, and then everyone racist against each one of the side, that you can't get work, you can't get whatever. I mean, the tenement living, I mean, all of it, all the way to westward expansion and Manifest Destiny.
And a beautiful love story.
Well, there's a love story in there.
Woven in there.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why you watch.
That's one of the ones.
Potato famine is great and all that.
And
we all love a good potato famine movie. But we want pretty people falling in love. Is
the movies I want Sadie to watch before she graduates.
Okay.
Or Forrest Gump.
Airplane.
No. Forrest Gump. I want her to watch Far and Away because I want her to see all this period piece stuff. I want her to watch The Matrix.
Yeah.
I think The Matrix is important in life.
Sure.
To know what's real and what's not real, Johnny.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But also, it's a good movie.
That movie's like a perfect allegory.
It is.
It's like the Book of Revelation a little bit. It's got everybody sees it a little bit differently, what they take from it.
Yeah.
They build their whole life around it, and you're like, well, that's not what it meant to me.
And it's going to become more and more relevant, by the way, I think, as tech continues to advance, that you can have a life that's not real.
Well, and it dehumanizes and all the stuff, yeah. It's Mr. Roboto. Styx was onto something, bro.
Come on, man. All right, I didn't mean to interrupt your
Anyway, I wanted to end today with a tribute to one Robert Redford who passed away yesterday as we film. And I was thinking about, I wasn't like a big 70s Robert Redford guy, but there was a movie in the early 90s that I think is probably the best ensemble cast movie that's ever been made. They do these big ensemble pieces where every actor is this famous actor that took less money to do this movie because everybody's in it. And then they're always bad because these people are they're used to stealing focus and they can't work in a group. It's never very good, or the script just isn't there. That's
how this podcast almost didn't make it at first. Too much star power in one room.
Absolutely.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. But the movie Sneakers, 1991 or 92, is like probably my favorite ensemble cast movie ever. I mean, it had everybody, Sidney Poitier and Robert Redford and Dan Aykroyd, and it's an unbelievable movie. River Phoenix, one of his last movies. And it's so good, and it's about technology. It's about a code. Have you seen Sneakers?
Yeah.
It's about a code breaker that becomes like this asset that they have to acquire. The governments all are trying to kill or die for it because it basically descrambles coded material, which means if it falls in the wrong hands, could destabilize the fate of the entire world, John. Anyway, Robert Redford's amazing. Ben Kingsley was also in that. I mean, it's an amazing cast, but it's also just like a perfect script. Everybody's there's a great give and take among the cast. It's like a great bluegrass song. Everybody just has their turn.
Yeah, they come around and do their solo. Yeah.
I just compared Sneakers to bluegrass. I don't know how I did it. I can spin a metaphor, buddy.
This guy.
Don't get me started.
He can spin a metaphor like a... Sorry, that was a simile, which is a form of metaphor. Sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, rest in peace, Robert Redford. A true legend.
I didn't realize that he established the Sundance Film Festival.
Yeah. I mean, it's a guy that...
Because he lived in Sundance, Utah.
Yeah, and he gave a lot back and was pretty universally regarded as a good guy. So that's, what a great life. And again, we talked about not chasing fame for fame's sake, but I mean, he was a gifted person who pursued his dream of this thing. And then he had a quiet life post-retirement of acting. But still was giving back to the arts, which I think are desperately needed. So, anyway, great. If you haven't seen Sneakers, go watch Sneakers. I mean, people want to tell you Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid. They're going to tell you Jeremiah Johnson. They're going to tell you All the President's Men, which is about the Watergate scandal. That's probably what he's most known for, is playing Bob Woodward. But, I'm telling you, Sneakers, unheralded, and it's a masterpiece.
What was the one, my wife's favorite Robert Redford movie was the one... The lady was a journalist.
The mid-90s. What was that one called? Up Close and Personal.
Yeah. Who's
Celine Dion had the great song in the soundtrack. Because you love me.
Yeah, but that's Julia Roberts?
No, it was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. I was working in a movie theater when that came out.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, a true legend, and he will be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got today, John.
That's it.
That's it. That's our show. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, guys, go to Jonnie, JONNIEW.com. And guys, he showed me we were having to work out times to record. And I'm telling you, I've never seen the man do more dates.
I'm coming back to do laundry, and that's about it for the next 35 days, I think. So, hey, jump on the old website and see if I'm coming to your town. I would love to see you at a show. People come up to me now and say, like, where's John? And they listen to the show. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I say he was not invited.
Yeah. He doesn't get to do this because...
I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
One of these days, though, you're going to jump on.
I usually go, one every, year
5
to 2 years? No, Johnny.
It's been a minute.
Has it?
It was probably Terre Haute. That's the last time you went on a run where we did like a show. We did the podcast from the hotel room in Terre Haute.
That was not the last one.
I mean, you came to a show or two, but we've not like been on the road together.
I feel like there was one other.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we're growing apart, but it's cool. That's just what happens.
Well, now
with
you
friends.
take your wife.
That's what happens with friends.
You keep picking your wife over me.
I know. Sorry.
That's
she protects
choice.
me from snakes.
That's a good choice.
What can I say?
And poke
She's
it.
got my back.
Just poke it.
Just poke it. If you see a snake, guys, be careful out there.
Hey guys, thanks for the time you gave us this week. It was a lot of fun. Let's do it again next week here on
Talk about that.